What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. VP Tactical here, and today we are talking about the binary trigger from Franklin Armory, made specifically for the MP5 series based guns, and wanted to do my short review and thoughts and comments on it. And so hopefully you like this video. If you do, hit that like and subscribe button. You can certainly help support my channel just by doing that. It costs you nothing. And I did also set up membership, so for as little as $1 a month, 99 cents, you can get some behind the scenes footage, pictures, things of that sort, and also shout outs and some other things that are listed. But of course you can check that out. It's on my link is on my channel to join. But let's just dive right in. So the binary trigger from Franklin Armory. So the good, bad, and the ugly. Well, if you're not familiar with what a binary trigger does, normally most guns you have your selector switch. Here's safe, here's standard fire, and then in this case the binary mode. So if you see it's on safe right now, we'll go ahead and rack the gun. It is clear, so you can see. So we'll rack it, pull the trigger, and you hear that click. That's basically one shot going off. Now with the binary, what's different, when the gun is racked, you pull the trigger, you shoot it. Now the gun is already cycled again and loaded a new round, so let's simulate that. And then when you let go of the trigger, it fires another shot. And so the good, bad, and ugly of this, it's a cool system. Obviously, you'll certainly burn more ammo. I wouldn't call it a novelty, but you know, it is a cool feature or upgrade, I guess, to your AP5 or MP5 or SP5, whatever it is that you've got. You know, if you wanted to do some double taps or, you know, a slightly quicker rate of fire. The trigger itself does feel a little bit better than the stock AP5 trigger, although not by much, really. And so, you know, is it controllable? Yeah, I mean, it is controllable. It's not, you know, obviously the same as a full auto, right? I've shot full auto MP5s, actual true MP5s, and it's not anywhere near the same rate of fire or even anywhere in the same capacity. So if that's what you're expecting or anticipating, it's not. It is a binary trigger, like I said. One squeeze of the trigger back, it goes off. You let off the trigger, it fires another shot. So as quickly as you could articulate that, and it takes time to really kind of find that pattern of what, or that rhythm, I guess, if you will, of what makes it fire quicker. You know, then that would be something that you could do with this particular trigger. It does shoot just fine on semi-auto mode, as opposed to binary. Like I said, the trigger is decent. You know, the main reason I got this was for upgrading some of the parts in here to the US components, but I also wanted to try it out. You know, I thought it was a really cool feature. These things retail somewhere around $600 to $650 in that neighborhood. Would it be something that I would buy again? Maybe, maybe not. You know, I'd probably lean towards no, just because to me, like I said, it's kind of more of a novel item. Is it really cool? Absolutely, no question about it. But again, that being said, it's just kind of one of those things. You know, yes, you burn more ammo. You know, can you do controlled burst shots? You know, or double taps, for example? Yeah, of course you can. But I don't know. I mean, is it worth it for $600? Me personally, I don't think so. You know, I think at that point I'd rather get a nice two-stage trigger for this thing, or, you know, obviously if you've got the funds, you could always splurge for a full auto sear pack, you know, assuming you've done your background check and all of that other stuff, filled out the appropriate forms, et cetera, et cetera. The one big key thing that I did want to point out too with the binary, Franklin binary, is it comes with this safety selector, which I don't know, just for me, it just seems so wonky. Now, I will note that this does move a lot easier than the factory selector on the AP5. Let me rack that in here so I can actually go into safe. And you know, but you still get a positive detent when it's going into whatever it is, whatever mode it is that you're selecting. So that being said, I don't know, I absolutely hated this factory Franklin Armory safety selector switch. So this is the front side, this is the back side of it, which is just a little nub. I believe it did come with another one, but being the fact that this is so long, this protruded out on the right side, and it was basically getting in the way of my trigger finger and basically manipulating the controls on the gun. So I actually wanted to ditch this. I found this piece, which came with the other side, from Custom Smith Manufacturing. Looks like it's a Arizona-based mom and pop shop, and so they make these. It did not come painted. I actually had to paint this myself. They use a little bit of white nail polish, so I mean, whatever works, right? You could use a white Sharpie or something else if you could find on there that's paint. It does absorb that. The material does absorb that paint quite well. And so that being said, this little short throw selector is awesome. It doesn't get in the way on either side. And you know, obviously you say, well, this doesn't match up with these markings over here on the lower, and you're right. You know, so this would probably be ideal for somebody who has a pictogram housing. You know, if you've ever seen it, it shows the full auto bullets there. You'll see a single fire or maybe a burst in the middle, and then down the bottom you'll usually see safe. So that's typically where this would be pointing, is at safe. And then as you move it over, you know, get into either single fire or burst mode, and then when you flip it to that final position up here up top, usually you would see the pictogram showing the full auto mode. So obviously I don't have a full auto pictogram, so that's why you're not seeing this little line here line up with that. So, you know, could I have not painted it? Sure, but I wanted to. I just thought it looked cool. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the Franklin binary trigger. Like I said, I think it's a cool piece. Is it worth that much money? To me, no. I think if it was around the same price as the AR-15 based platforms or some of the other ones that are out there from Franklin Armory, then I think that would probably be a little bit more reasonable, because I've seen those hover between the $300 to $400 range, maybe even a little bit lower. And so for something that's almost double, right, give or take, that's hard to justify. But again, I mean, if you're doing anything in the MP5 world or SP5 or AP5 or whatever, you know, you're going to expect to pay a premium for it, and that's just because it's based on this particular platform. So anyway, hopefully you like this video. Certainly drop those thoughts and comments below. You know, do you have one of these? What's your thoughts on it? You know, would you get one? And yeah, and if you didn't, let's just say you're like, all right, well, I'd like to upgrade the trigger. Maybe I'm trying to be compliant with that 922 RBS, or you know, maybe I just want a better trigger in this gun. What would you go with? You know, I saw Timney and a couple others that were out there. So I've got my sights set on that. Maybe I'll get rid of this and then pick up one of those other ones and just get a nice, crisp, clean trigger. So again, hopefully you like this video. Drop those thoughts and comments below. I appreciate all the support.